Coming to you live on location, this is the Between the Benches podcast, where we will discuss anything and everything hockey related. Let's drop the puck and get the action underway.
All right. And finally,
we are back.
The Benches podcast. As always, it's your host, Dak. We're brought to you by Old City Sports Network. Make sure to check out oldcitysports.com for all of your favorite podcasts, articles, blogs, and more. And make sure to check out the merch store. Use the promo code OldCity15 for 15% off site-wide. You can check out our merch store, too. It's tagged. It's under the fourth wall, which that we could spend a whole episode talking about that. But it's on our Instagram page under the tags if you want to check out some sweet merch. And everybody gets free shipping, so shout out to that. But, yeah, we are back. We are live on location. How are we feeling?
I'm in a slap-happy mood.
Yeah, it's
Nice.
10:30
For no reason.
We're getting a little giddy, and
So this
it should be fun. Should be fun.
This should be a good one. This should be a good episode. Well, we are going to do some report cards these next couple episodes. We're going to break down every division, kind of recap where we want to, where we see the teams finishing, hand out some grades from this past 2025 season. Now that free agency is kind of kicking off and kind of wrapping up, if you will. And we will get into that now. This episode, we're going to do the Pacific Division specifically. Next week, we will bring you the Central Division. And then after that, we might have a special guest lined up for everybody. So we'll get into that, more details to come. But like I said, we will get into the 2025 report cards for the Pacific Division. It's brought to you by IronSteelThreads.com. Make sure to check out IronSteelThreads.com, all the great hoodies, shirts, other apparel. And come out with new designs every month. They are made here in the States, and you can use the promo code OldCity10 for 10% off, and part of your proceeds will go back to youth hockey organizations. So that's always a plus, people helping people. But the first team I had on the docket here, fellas, for the Pacific Division, wanted to go the Vancouver Canucks for the Pacific Division.
I want to preface this by saying the report cards are season long. So
Okay.
From basically game one to the end of free agency.
So
Wow.
basically until we'll just call
No,
it
it's to now. Yeah, the day we're recording,
Yeah.
July 17th, 10:30 p.m. That is the end of the report card window from
Oh, there it
game one
is.
to now.
Well, since you're talking about it, Brock, what grade are we giving the
Yeah,
Canucks?
Brock
in your
went to school
opinion?
to be a teacher.
Yeah, he's a math major. This guy should know all about grades.
I was a math major. It's for me. It's harder to go. Like the way I thought about it. Let me preface it with this. The way I thought about it was like, D is technically a passing grade. So if that's a passing grade, I have a hard time convincing myself that the Canucks are anything more than like a D plus, maybe even a C minus. You trade away JT Miller and then flip the pick that you got for him into Marcus Pettersson, who more or less just continued the mediocrity. I don't know. They got worse from start of season to end of season, and they finished fourth in the division or fifth? No, fifth in the division. Yeah, fifth in the division. I don't know. To me, they didn't fail the season, but I don't see how you can say they succeeded in any meaningful way. So if C is an average and D is a pass, I would go D plus personally.
No, and to your point, they finished fifth in the Pacific Division. They were 7 points out of a wild card spot. They were 23rd in goals for. They were 15th on power play percentage. They were tied for second in PK, so that's pretty good. But they were 31st in shots, 18th in goals allowed, and 7th in shots allowed. Excuse me. Yeah, I was going to say saves against it doesn't make sense, but shots allowed. But Graham, what would you what kind of grade are we giving the Vancouver Canucks this season?
I did like the Evander Kane pickup. I feel like
Ooh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I'm not keen on it either.
I feel like it kind of goes with the Vancouver system. Every game I watch them play, they are extremely physical, and I think that's a good fit. When you look at, was it Sherwood who led the league in hits?
Yep.
I think you add another winger that can really lay the body and help, be a part of the personality that is the Vancouver Canucks. I think that's kind of what they're doubling down on because they lost the skill in Miller. I know it doesn't count for this report card, but they lost Horvat.
That's so long ago. That's like 3 years ago, dude. Like that's
But
so long
this
ago.
team magically fucked up what they had.
Is it magical?
And it should be studied.
I don't
because
think it's magical.
I don't know how they're in this position.
I do. Elias Pettersson showed up to camp out of shape and then proceeded to act like a baby, and JT Miller called him out on it. That's the long and the short of it. It's
And
nothing
they
magical.
kept Pettersson.
So what is your grade? What is
My
your
grade is D-.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Oh, okay.
Like, not to mention, like, they didn't sign anybody of note. Pius Suter walked. They just traded Dakota Joshua for a fourth to the Leafs. Thanks. Appreciate that. Love that trade. We'll get to that when we get to the Leafs, which is, who knows when we get there. But it's, I don't know. Like I said, D plus is as high as I want to go, and that's only because they finished fifth. Like, if they finished any lower, I think I'd have to go with you with D minus. But
They let the Miller-Pettersson drama take over the entire season. It cost them their coach and Rick Tocchet, in which they just added Adam Foote, which I feel like that has to be some sort of Quinn Hughes has say in that as a defenseman. Just to keep
he 100% had a lot of say in that.
I can't even give them. I can't imagine giving them a higher grade right now.
And you guys haven't even alluded.
So-
and you guys haven't even alluded to the whole goalie situation too, because they just traded
Right.
Shelobs to Pittsburgh,
Yep.
which arguably was their best goalie. I mean, through the AHL playoffs, he carried them to the Calder Cup. Like, to keep Demko, who's been injury plagued,
You could
to re-sign
quibble with
him.
that. Yeah, you could quibble with that. I'm not saying it's a mistake, but it could be.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think they put their money in the wrong goaltending situation. I think I would have rather kept the two younger guys with Shelobs and I can't remember their other Lankinen. Thank you. I think that'd have been a better situation. Maybe letting Demko go. Yeah, would it? Would it suck if he went on to a different team and played out of his mind? Yeah, sure, but
You can't make
that's not
decisions.
going to be more than that's not going to be more than 2 or 3 years. You know what I mean? Even if somebody got 2 good years out of Demko, like, I feel like that would not be a stain on the Canucks. That would just be like, oh wow, he finally put it together and is the goalie that we thought he could be. But I'm with you guys. I think this is definitely in the D range. I think you can go F just because I think the way that the front office has handled everything. Graham, to your point, they let literally a beef between teammates take over the whole season. They were basically the laughing stock of the season for like the first 3 months of it until, kind of the Rangers started falling apart and everything else kind of happened between, the league and whatnot. And I would say, honestly, Four Nations kind of overshadowed everything. Like, once Four Nations happened, I feel like all the bad stuff was kind of forgotten about, and everybody was talking about, like, oh, look at this great thing that the NHL is doing, but so on and so forth. But yeah, I'm in that D range, I think.
Okay.
Which is very ironic because Brock
Let's-
prefers 2 of them, if you will. So,
Ayo. So So our cumulative average, let's call it a D. D plus,
Yeah.
D minus, D.
Fair.
nice.
call it a D.
There it is.
Big
there
D.
it is. So
Big old
hopefully,
D.
Big old D.
nice, big old D. Which is very ironic with Quinn Hughes. But anyway, we'll see what happens with Adam Foote and the Canucks this coming season. Like I said, just the whole goalie situation still really bugs me. But that's neither here nor there. The next team we had up, a big surprise, honestly, especially for one of the guys on this panel who had this as a bottom 5 team. But the Calgary Flames. Calgary Flames are up next. I'll preface this one a little bit better. They finished 4th in the Pacific. They were 1 point out of the playoffs. They were 7th in shots, 29th in goals for, 19th in power play percentage. They were 25th in PK percentage, 15th in goals allowed, and 22nd in shots allowed. They really didn't add any key free agent pieces. They did lose David Vlader, the backup goalie, to Dustin Wolf. And they are heading into this coming season with a little over $15 million in cap space. So, Graham, what would you give the Calgary Flames as their grade for the 2025 season?
I almost want to give them a B. I'm leaning B plus, but I want to say B
Okay.
because I feel like what they had on the roster, there's no reason. Like, they had the same amount of points to get in the playoffs, but they lost the tiebreaker, so they're out. And they're not that kind of team. And I think what they did with this season was pretty incredible. Starting it with the Johnny Gaudreau drama and, his ties to Calgary and all the guys in that room. Where, it happened in Columbus where do it for Johnny, but do it for Johnny was, hockey wide. It wasn't exclusive to one team. And I think they did a great job doing that. I think Dustin Wolf is the goalie of the future. And when your young guys get better and you're not giving them pieces or reasons to be better other than just straight development, I think you gave him the chance. And yeah, I think it's a B.
Canadaddy?
So I agree with most of that. I'll start off by saying Dustin Wolf is not the goalie of the future. He is the goalie of the now. He has arrived.
Ooh.
He has arrived. I'm still very upset he didn't win the Calder, but that's neither here nor there. Okay. I think I'm going to agree with the B. I might even lean B- because of some of the decisions they've made so far. I don't know if I really like their draft, and that Kevin Ball signing. I don't know if I talked with you about this, Graham, off pod, but that might be one of the. He's big. That's it. Like, I don't understand this signing at all. I believe I had it written down. He signed a 6-year at $5.35 million per year. I don't even need to go look at this man's stats. I bet has he had 20 points in a season before? I would be wildly impressed if he's eclipsed that point total. I don't think his defensive metrics are even much better. Like, I don't know. To me, that is a very, very bad signing. And I know that big defensemen and the cap's going up and blah, 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 blah. Justify however you like. I just, for me, can't bring myself to justify that contract. So I will echo all of Graham's sentiments aside from the off-season moves so far. I think that brings it down to a B- for me. But they did wildly overachieve expectations this year. So that does
100%.
That does keep it above a C for sure.
I do want to say that I do like Cole Reshny, who they drafted in the first round, or their first round pick. I think it was in the late teens, 18th overall.
That draft is a blur.
He was getting faded, and I like Cole Reshny.
Yeah. There's a couple of things that come to mind with the Flames. I think as far as teams that exceeded expectation, I don't think anybody is above them as far as the 2025 season is concerned. Maybe Columbus. Maybe Columbus could argue.
Yeah.
But then, again, Calgary actually did have the same amount of points. Yeah, but still, Washington had pieces to be as good as they were. You would not have,
which is more shocking. Which is more
exactly.
shocking.
Like the fact that Calgary literally had enough points to get into the playoffs, the fact that the Caps led, the East. We could make that argument, but the Morgan Frost move I kind of like too. Yep. I think that's a good depth piece. Mm-hmm. To your point, I honestly, the way I see the Flames is that they are looking to tank this year. They are not expecting to do what they did last year. They're expecting to be worse and hopefully be in a lottery situation to where they can get Gavin McKenna. I think that's the play. I think that's why they're keeping all the young guys and not really signing anybody as far as free agents and everything, or keeping that money, because I think they want to be bad. I think they wanted to be bad last year, but then they just turned into something that was, they got goalie saved basically, right? They got Dustin Wolfed, if you will. And I think that going into this year, Calgary's like, okay, we're going to try to really punt. We're just going to play the young guys. If we make the playoffs, great. If we end up being in the bottom three, that's great too, because then they'll get maybe Gavin McKenna. But I think that's the way that this team is leaning, or this organization is leaning. Again, as far as the season grade, I would definitely go B+ or maybe even A-, just because from expectation. Literally, from expectation, they outperformed every expectation that anybody had set for them going into that year.
I think it was really just Dustin Wolf that wildly outperformed expectations. Like, wasn't Nas their leading scorer?
Huberdeau did have Huberdeau had a nice little bounce back season as well.
Kadri had 67 points, 35 goals. Huberdeau was next leading, scoring at 62 and 28.
That's not good. Like, that's very, very meh. That's why, I don't know. But we'll land on a B. That seems to be splitting the difference here. We'll land on a B.
And we'll definitely...
when you look at their offense, they're 29th in goals for, bottom half in power play, really bad penalty kill. It's really just Dustin Wolf that clawed their way into it.
Yeah.
It is.
But they weren't supposed to be good, and they ended up playing important games down the stretch, and that's what you can ask for when you're rostering what they are.
Is he a poor man's Igor Shesterkin?
I don't know about poor man. That's only 1 year. Let's give him a couple years before we start inserting him into one of the best goalies on the planet discussion.
He didn't hurt any fantasy team he was on.
That is correct.
He outperformed where he was drafted in almost any league.
That's right.
That's fair. That's fair. Well, that's the Calgary Flames. We'll definitely see moving forward. I think you were a year early on your prediction, Brock. I think this year they're going to definitely be a
see.
bottom 3 team, but
We'll
we'll see.
Dustin Rose,
Next team up that is definitely not going to be a bottom 3 team unless
Nope.
unless a meteor hits the planet Earth in this location. But the Las Vegas Golden Knights. This is going to be Brock's new favorite team. They did finish first in the Pacific. They were 12th in save percentage. They were 4th in shots allowed. They were 3rd in goals against. They were 5th in goals for. 2nd in power play percentage. 26th on the PK. 4th in shots as well. And obviously they got the big fish with Mitch Marner acquisition and everything this season. They did lose Nicholas Haig.
Haig. Yep.
Haig. And they lost Tanner Pearson, and they also lost Nicholas Roy in that Mitch Marner deal.
Pause. I've been waiting for this. I've been dying
Waugh?
for this. It is Waugh, but it's Nicolas Waugh because he's
Nicolas Roy.
It's
Nice.
such a fun name to say, so I've been dying to say that on the podcast. Nicolas
And then
Waugh.
outside of the Mitch Marner deal, they add Jeremy. Oh, this is from Nashville. Jeremy Lauzon, and then Colton Sissons as well. So, fellas, as far as the 2025 season goes for the Las Vegas Golden Knights, where are we leaning here? I think Brock's up first, eh?
Sure. I believe this is. I'm not even going to give too much insight because I think this is really simple. It's an A, and it's not an A plus or an A minus for the following reasons. It has to be an A because, it can't be an A plus because of the way they went out in the playoffs for me. I think that was way too soft, way too much of a whimper against the Oilers for me to give them an A plus. But they got Mitch Marner. They also lost Pietrangelo. I'm just now realizing
Yes.
that out loud. So I guess maybe you
my
could
thunder.
go.
That's not
That's not
management.
That's no one's fault. That's just it is what
Yeah.
it is. Yeah. So yeah, for me it's an A. It's an A. I personally don't really see any qualms with. They had a great regular season. They performed in the first round against a tough Minnesota Wild team, and then they kind of went out with a whimper against the Oilers. That's why it's not an A plus. Open and shut. But adding Marner to that group is just a silly season, man. Like
It's going to be crazy.
that's just that top 6 is ridiculous. Like it's absolutely insane.
Eichel
Eichel
and
or
Mitch Marner
Marner
on the same line.
they're going to be. You could have them on opposite lines, and then 40 minutes of the game is spent with one of the best skaters on the planet on the ice. Like, ugh, so frustrating, so frustrating. And I'll say it now. I'll say this all year. I'm going to say it. I'm literally going to be saying this for like the next 300 days. Strap in, guys. Marner is not only going to succeed in the regular season going forward, he's going to have success in the playoffs. It's going to happen. Strap in for it.
Are you calling?
It's
are you
happening.
calling your
Well, I
shot
mean,
2026
it's
Stanley
happening.
Cup champions.
It's happening. Maybe not Cup champions, but
He reminds me of another Maple Leaf that joined the Vegas Golden Knights. Someone that was a fan favorite, got traded after years of media issues, but this guy ended up winning 3 cups.
I have a feeling I'm going to hate this.
Phil Kessel.
Oh, God. Oh. I believe it was Steve Dangle that did the Phil Kessel and Era Wasted video. I'm pretty sure he just did a Mitch Marner and Era Wasted video. I think it was like 50 minutes or something long. And it's just... ironically, it's kind of similar to what we're going to be doing
very similar.
with like... no, I was going to say with our Leafs episode, that particular video. I bet you it'll be very similar. Just us ranting for 50 minutes about the Leafs. Oh, I can't wait. Oh, man.
But
to
to bring it back to the
life,
Golden
eh?
Knights,
Yeah.
there's nothing new to bring. I mean, Jeremy Lauzon, there's definitely some physicality brought to the ice.
No, that's a
but
great move.
Everything
systems
else
are
is just
changed.
echoed what Brock said.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like there's not a lot to dissect here. Just continue the A-level moves. Like they just keep making good moves, good decisions. I think that they're a better team next year, even though the loss of Pietrangelo will be felt. Like he is,
And it's not addressed.
well. I mean, I don't know how you address. I guess you still can use LTIR for one more year, so we'll see.
They're over, so
We'll
Is
see.
well, my biggest thing for the Knights now that they have Mitch Marner, is if they don't, I'm assuming like the Western Conference Final is probably the bar for this team. If they don't make it there, is Bruce Cassidy on the hot seat?
No.
Is he in trouble if they don't get to the Western Conference Finals? Because I think he is. I literally think they win out
I don't
and
think
got
there's
Mitch
anyone
Marner
in
to go
Vegas
all in.
safe whether they wear the sweater or not.
You can look at it like that, and you'd be right too, frankly, given their history. But I don't think, unless they go out the way they did this year again, then maybe I'll entertain that idea. But I personally don't think it's.
Okay, well, the whole point about a take is to like guess way before it happens, not like react to stuff
I
as
am.
it happens.
I'm just qualifying with one
Okay,
scenario. That's the
Gotcha.
only scenario that I would listen to.
Yeah,
The
one
Bruce
blurry
Cassidy.
scenario.
It's
literally.
not one
Like,
blurry scenario.
I'm getting way
We
ahead of
lose
this
like
snowball.
that again.
Yeah.
That's it.
I-
Otherwise, no, he's fine.
Oh, well, I'm telling you right now, it doesn't matter how they lose. If they don't make it to the Western Conference Finals, I think Bruce Cassidy is going to be in the open market. I think he's going to be
Yeah.
a free agent coach for sure.
And having
So-
takes like that are allowed as well.
But I would definitely give Vegas an A. Yeah, for sure. I mean, the way from a top to bottom organization, I think they need to address their goalie situation maybe. Just because with Pietrangelo out, I mean, their defense is probably going to take a step back. I don't know who they're going to fill that hole with. I mean, I don't think there's anybody they can plug in and be a Pietrangelo. It's definitely going to be more a committee. If anything, are they going to have to flip their mindset? Are they going to become more of an offensive team now? And kind of,
no,
I don't want to say punt
No.
on defense, but be
no, they'll be fine. They'll be fine.
Okay.
Shea Theodore is still fantastic. Noah Hannafin's still great both ways, on and off the puck.
nice.
I think they'll be fine. You like that? Eh?
Nice. Yeah, that's nice. I like that. All right. Well, that was the Vegas Golden Knights. Are they going to win the Pacific again next year?
Yeah, probably.
Right now. Okay.
Yeah.
There it is.
Probably.
Nice hot take. Okay, cool. Speaking of hot takes, did you guys see that Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl were playing in a beer league game and they were down 4-0 after the first period?
I did.
I
Fixed.
saw that as well.
Fixed.
So it is fixed. The fix is in. But that is the next team up is the Edmonton Oilers, the Stanley Cup runner-ups once again. They finished third in the Pacific. They were first in shots, 11th in goals for, 11th on the power play percentage, 16th in the PK, 14th in goals allowed, 9th in shots against, 19th in goals against, and then 19th in save percentage. So key players that were added were Andrew Majimpani and Curtis Lazar. They did lose Victor Arvidsson, Connor Brown, John Klingberg, obviously Evander Kane we kind of recapped earlier, and Corey Perry. So as far as the Oilers go, Graham, what would you say the grade for them would be?
I'm leaning between B plus A minus, just because they got to the Cup final. Had they not gotten there, I think we're looking more to a B. But you have McDavid and Draisaitl, who's going to inflate any offensive numbers and carry the not defensive, but goaltending numbers. Just kind of wash it out. And then in the playoffs, they do what they do, and they're a really hard team to beat in the playoffs. We know that. There's only one team that can do it. So I'm going to say B plus, A minus,
Ooh.
whatever that looks like.
Ooh.
I do like the Mangiapane.
Mhm.
I think the Bouchard signing
Yep.
is really important for the team moving forward. They have their number one guy.
Yep.
And let's not forget that they were just gutted in the offseason after their
Well-
time they lost. Like the offer sheets, like you lose Holloway, you lose
Yeah.
Goldberg.
They would have been really nice to have.
They
That's
had
fair.
to make moves on the fly. And I feel like this year they have a little more control heading into this season. So I think they've done better from that standpoint. So I'm talking myself into an A minus.
Oh, okay. I got a spicy take for you. Go ahead, Brock.
Well, now that's a tease
Yeah.
and a half. All right.
I got a take that I want to see if you guys like or not. But go ahead.
Well, then let's hear what I have to say, and we'll go from there.
Yeah.
So I agree. I actually agree 100% with Graham. My grade was going to be an A minus, so I was kind of hoping Graham stayed at a B plus, so we had something different. But I'm A minus because of like they finished second again. Like that's got to get you at least to a B on its own. So, and then you add in all these other factors, like you mentioned Mangiapane, the Bouchard extension. Isaac Howard was a first-round draft pick by the Tampa Bay Lightning back in, I think, 2022, if I remember correctly. And they traded him 1-for-1 with Tampa for Sam O'Reilly, who was, I believe, a first-rounder in 2024. I think it was last year. And it was all because Isaac Howard wouldn't extend with Tampa for whatever reason. I don't know why. Tampa is still very, very good. But I think this is such a tidy piece of business because it's the reigning Hobie Baker winner from college. And I think he's going to slot right in next to Draisaitl or McDavid on an ELC and produce just fine. I can't think of an exact comparable, but picture like maybe like a William Karlsson-esque on the wing, just a really solid player all around. And I don't know. To me, that's just such a tidy piece of business. It bumps it up to an A- for me. But
Ooh.
everything else, if you want to get into the negative, like Trent Frederick, that contract, 8 years by 3.4,
3.85. Yeah.
8.5. That's another $400,000. That's I don't know. Like I don't understand giving term to bottom six or even bottom pairing pieces. I don't understand it. It doesn't make any sense to me. Why would you lock yourself into just slightly above replacement level players? It doesn't make any sense. And then the massive elephant in the room, their goaltending. The main reason
Ooh.
that everything absolutely imploded in the playoffs. I think that's a massive mistake. Otherwise, I probably would have gave them an A+ so far. I think I actually would have, but I think that dips everything to an A- for me. So.
I think there's a bigger elephant in this room, and it is the fact that, they haven't gotten an extension done with Connor McDavid. I think that is a bigger elephant in this room. And I think for that reason, I think they drop down to a B for me, because like you have to find a way to, and then his comments literally after the Stanley Cup Finals didn't really give you a fuzzy feelings about him coming back to Edmonton. Go ahead. What do you got?
We're grading management. Do you honestly think that management didn't go, hey, Connor, here's your check. You'll notice it's blank. However much you want for however long you want. This is not on management. This is on Connor. No, it's not. If you're not handing Connor McDavid a blank check,
nothing is confirmed.
Oh my
Nothing
God.
is confirmed on either end.
This will be good.
Here we
go.
Maybe it's not about money for him. Maybe it's about the team that has been put around him he's not very happy with. And that does fall on management.
Fair enough.
Because they are the ones that establish who plays.
I'm just saying, it is not up to management if he signs. It's not.
I understand that.
It's
but
up
at the
to
same
Connor
point in
McDavid.
time, it's up to management to build a team that Connor McDavid wants to go, hey, you know what? I do want to sign an extension here because I have faith that you are putting guys on the ice around me that we're going to win championships.
That's a fair point. That's a fair point.
Like,
I'm just saying that if he doesn't sign, it will not be because management didn't give him all the possible.
Because management didn't give him the players that he wanted to play with, or like
that's
the amount of talent that was
his
needed
interpretation. That's his interpretation.
Are you trying to say that Connor McDavid is not good enough to win a Stanley Cup?
I think it's interesting that's what you heard, because that's not what I said.
I mean, that to me is the biggest elephant in this room. Yes, the goaltending situation it needs to be addressed, but like to not have, because you know what happens if Connor McDavid doesn't re-sign? The next day, I guarantee you, Leon Draisaitl is going to go, "Hey, I want the hell out of here! Like, trade me right now."
No, he's not.
Why
they're going to go. They're going to go
he
up to
sign first, knowing
yes,
the possibility.
yes. Leon,
man,
Leon's going to say, "All right, give me the C. This is my show now.
I
don't
know.
Run it."
I have a hard time buying into that. I really do, because it's not like the team's going to get like considerably better if Connor McDavid leaves, but. That to me is the biggest elephant in the room.
Right there. That's a hot take.
Nice. Well, I'm just saying, like, if Connor McDavid leaves, why wouldn't Leon Draisaitl want to be right behind him out the door?
Because they still have all the other pieces. Like, they're much further
Darnell
away.
Nurse? LOL?
Whoa. Like, yeah, okay, let's go point out the worst contract on the roster. Relax, okay?
Or in the league? Question mark.
Okay.
By the way,
what is your grade? We're so far off the rails.
He went B.
I went B.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't remember you saying that.
Yes, I did give him a B.
So
okay,
we'll
B+. We'll go B+, A- range as a unit on this one.
Yeah.
That is
also, sidebar, did you know Darnell Nurse's sister plays for the Chicago Sky, the WNBA team?
No. I didn't
Yeah,
know.
I just learned that like the other day. So hopefully we can maybe pull some connections and either have her or maybe her brother on the show.
Professional athletes are in that family.
I think 3, because they have a third sister, or he has a second sister.
No,
that's
a cousin. That's a cousin, I think.
Is it a cousin?
I think
no, there's 3 of them. There's 3 nurses. LOL, that'd be a good podcast. 3 nurses. Anyway. Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, that's the Edmonton Oilers. We'll move on. We'll pivot over to the San Jose Sharks.
Oh boy.
You know what? This isn't going to be as painful as I think. They were last in the league in points. They were 31st in shot percentage. They were, I believe that's save percentage, beg your pardon. 31st in save percentage, 31st in shots against, 32nd in goals allowed, 32nd in goals for, 26th on the power play, 27th in shots, and then 28th on the PK. Obviously, they had Colorado's goalie. Forgive me, I'm literally blanking on his name because he was so bad. Who they traded for Colorado's goalie, who was god awful.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm drawing blank on it as well.
I'm drawing a blank too. This is so sad. Anyway, I'll continue. Somebody's going to shout it out. But they did add. They did have a pretty busy offseason. They added Adam Gaudette. They added Dmitry Orlov, which I'm a really big fan of. We'll get into that. John Klingberg, Philip Kurashev.
Kurashev.
Yeah.
Kurashev.
They obviously drafted Michael Misa. They also got Alex Nedeljkovic from Pittsburgh to help bolster that goalie situation. And then the only key loss that we had on the chart here was Mark Edward Vlasic, the defenseman, and they have about $24 million in cap space heading into the season. So, Graham, give me a grade for the Sharks. What do you got?
Well, first, the goalie's name was Mackenzie Blackwood.
No, that's the goalie that they acquired. That's the goalie they traded away.
That's who Colorado got.
That's who Colorado got. Yeah.
Who did
I thought.
Who did Colorado trade away to San Jose?
I literally could not remember to save my life.
They have Askarov.
That
right, but they traded
Graham. Just stop. Stop. You're making this worse. You're waking the neighbors.
All right, with the San Jose Sharks, I feel like
Gorgiev.
There it is.
There it is.
Oh, there it is.
Alexander Gorgiev. Go ahead.
I feel like they can't be punished for being bad because they're bad. They're supposed.
That was their
to
expectation.
let the young team grow.
They were expected to be.
I don't want to give a team with those kind of stats a good grade without prefacing it that way. They let the young guys play and develop. Like Celebrini, I didn't think he'd have that kind of season for his rookie year, which kudos to him. Kid was on fire. They weren't supposed to win many games, and boy, didn't they. But they did acquire some young talent in the draft. Michael Misa, I think, is a home run pick for them. They were never going to end up getting the number 1 overall pick. So I'm going to end up with A- because they're in a great spot this year to let the young guys grow, probably be at the bottom of the standings again, and have their chance at the big dog. You've heard us say it before, Gavin McKenna.
Okay. Big Canada Daddy, what we got?
I will echo almost everything Graham said, but I'm going to add on to it. I'm going to start off by saying we have not specifically said this so far, but we are grading management's decisions and what the team did overall and what they accomplished based on their expectations. So with that being said, the San Jose Sharks get an A+ from me. I do not think that this season could have gone any better. They finished last. They gave themselves the best chance at Schaefer, and I know they wanted Schaefer. They did what they needed to do. They added Orlov, Skinner. They added some of these older guys Klingberg, when they signed him, I'm literally thinking, oh, there's a second-round pick in like 7 months. That's what that is. That's a second-round pick. I literally do not see a single thing wrong with what they've done. Everything. Misa is fantastic. They have Askarov next year. They traded for Nedeljkovic for the 1A, 1B situation. I don't see find a mistake. Other than where they finished in the standings, and again, I'll echo, the expectations were to be in the bottom 5. So, I don't know. For me, A+. I think that the Sharks are going to be a fucking problem in 2-3 years. They are going to be an absolute problem in the West.
2029 Stanley Cup champions, San Jose Sharks.
Maybe even sooner than that.
So one thing I will say that we have not brought up yet is how they handled Jake Wallman. They received, was it a second-round pick from Detroit for just acquiring him?
To take him. Yeah, to take him. That's right.
And then flipped him to a first-round pick.
We didn't even mention that in the Oilers thing. They traded for Wallman. Like, Oilers, yeah. Sorry, carry on. That's a great point.
But that, bravo from San Jose to exploit, whatever the Detroit situation was.
That almost screams like mafia or somebody owed someone a favor or I'm gonna like break your ankles kind of thing. Like I don't know that I will never dude. Yzerman, ask Graham. Like what like 3-4 years ago, we get into shouting matches over like this guy, and
Brock was pro.
I
was
defended
anti.
him tooth and nail. And the last 2-3 years, I'm literally every single time he does something, the head gets a little more tilted, and you start squinting a little harder at the screen. I don't know. Well, that's
Yeah, well,
Detroit.
Dalton, where you at here with the San Jose Sharks?
I mean, I'm kind of with you guys. I mean, as far as expectation, they've definitely set themselves up. I would probably go B+ or A minus here. Definitely on the fringe. I do, like I said, I do like the Dmitry Orlov acquisition. I think that's really going to help the back end as far as the younger guys. I think when you get these younger forwards in to have defensemen that are responsible enough, like Klingberg, like Orlov, that can teach. Can allow for a little bit of growth because obviously, making that jump, learning to play the game both ways, I think can sometimes be a challenge, especially for the guys that are really good offensively. And we think a lot of these forwards are really good offensively that they have. So I think that's a really smart and good way to set themselves up. I still, the only thing that does stick out to me is they're definitely going to need that younger defensive presence. It would have been amazing for them to get Schaefer this year. I think that would have been one of the biggest missing pieces for this organization is to have that cornerstone defenseman.
Yeah, that's the only.
You saw when they were going to Cup Finals, they had Brett Burns, right? That was their quote unquote cornerstone defenseman.
Is he good? Is he good?
Yeah,
he was.
He's pretty good, but now he's in Colorado, and we'll get to that later. But yeah, I would go B+ A- here. I mean, if we're going to meet in the middle and call it an A, I'm okay with that. I'm really curious.
I do want to
see
say that I am high on
this year.
Sam Dickinson. Who they drafted in 2024 for young defensive talent.
Okay. And I think you mentioned that with Greg when Greg was on the draft show.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Big Sam Dickinson guy. So
I seem to be higher up than Greg.
Yeah. You got to be nice. Dickinson. That's a fun name to say. Anyway, and that was the San Jose Sharks. Might be the highest grade so far. We'll see. We'll see. But the next team up, the LA Kings. I've got a feeling that this is not going to be as fun as the San Jose Sharks was. But they did finish second in the Pacific. They were 8th on the PK. They were 18th in shots, 27th on the power play, 14th in the league in goals for, second in goals against, second in shots allowed, second in goals against, and then 5th, in save percentage. Shout out to Darcy Kemper, career year. They did add some key players this offseason. They added Joel Aramia from Montreal, Cody Ceci, Brian Dumoulin. They added Anton Forsberg as well, Nick Leddy, and we should pick the Kings to go to the Cup final this year because they got Corey Perry. So they did lose some pretty important back-end pieces, that being Vladislav Gavrikov, who is now with the New York Rangers. Tanner Jeannot also left town. David Rittich, backup goalie, and then Jordan Spence also is a key piece lost. They have a little over almost $7 million, if you will, remaining in cap space. So I think Brock's up first. Brock, what grade are we giving the Kings this season?
A D.
Ooh,
and I'm saying D, but I want to give them an F.
Wow.
The only reason I'm going D is because they have a lot of notes that are sparkling, like their defensive play. Kemper, they made the playoffs, albeit they may or may not have imploded in the playoffs. That's a discussion for another time. But I'm giving them a D because the regular season does matter. Now, then July 1st happened, and well, I cannot fathom the Cody Ceci and Brian Dumoulin signings for both term and meaningful cap. I forget Dumoulin, but Ceci was 4.5. The dude's 32, 33. And he already looks slow. And he looked slow when he played for the Leafs, and that was half a decade ago. I don't understand how trading away Spence for a bag of pucks and swapping him to Cody Ceci makes you better. It is absolute asinine thinking.
3-year, $12 million, by the way, was the contract.
Dumoulin?
Yeah.
So $4 million. What are we doing? These guys already look like they can't skate. That being said, they signed Corey Perry, so they're going to lose in the Cup final anyway. What do I know?
Nice.
Exactly. What the fuck do I know? No. I say that a little tongue in cheek, but it is true. I do like the Kuzmenko signing as well. while I'm on the subject of signings I like. But for me, the Dumoulin and CC signings were just, for me, lighting money on fire. Like, I don't understand why you doubled down to go from meaningful speed. Didn't they have another forward walk away that I'm drawing blank on? Because you said Jeannot, but I thought there was another one. Either way, their season from when they got eliminated to the playoffs to now is an F, and the only reason it's a D for me is because everything else was so good. Did I miss anything?
Graham?
I agree with a lot of what Brock's saying, but I think the grade's a C.
Wow, that's.
I think they were without who were they with? Doughty for the longest time. Brent Clark stepped in and showed kind of what the future could be if he continues to develop with the team and grow. So I do think where you're losing one of the heartbeats of your team for that extended time, and they still finish second in the division. Albeit it's caused by, like you said, Darcy Kemper, because their scoring was not there with the exception of Fiala and Kempe. I believe, they didn't have anyone with 25 goals or more besides those two who tied at 35. But in free agency, they never addressed the lack of scoring. They just got older.
Yeah, literally.
And
the fact that you're giving them an average grade is just asinine to me.
No, I think they exceeded what would be expected if they were without Drew Doughty for that time.
Okay.
I think they played incredibly defensive, and they did it extremely well.
Here's a question for you.
And I don't want to take anything away from that.
Okay. I do, and I will. So, here's a question for you. Let's assume they have Doughty the whole year. Are they beating the Knights? Are they first? I don't think so. So how are they exceeding expectations?
Do you have them second in the Pacific even with Doughty?
Yes. What do you mean? You're saying they exceeded expectations. Ipso facto, if they had Doughty, they would have finished higher. Right?
I don't think they would have finished second without Doughty and that lack of scoring.
Bro, I'm using your words. Stay with me here. You said that they exceeded expectations even though they didn't have Doughty half the year. Is that correct?
Yes. They stayed ahead of Edmonton.
Okay, good. Gotcha. Now, let's say they had Doughty the whole year. Are they first in the division?
Probably not, no. Well,
then how do they exceed any expectations?
Because they were without Doughty and they stayed ahead of the Oilers.
Okay. I don't know. To me, giving them anything above a D is just far too kind for my taste.
They played so well defensively, and Kemper played great. I'm not taking anything away. To give a D to ignore that, no.
I found
Dalton, you are the tiebreaker.
Yeah, I was gonna say I found a hotter seat, I think, than Bruce Cassidy, and it's definitely Jim Hillier. God, the way that whole playoff sequence went, I still can't. For the life of me, I don't understand how this man has a job. To the way that they blew that series against Edmonton, they're up 2-0. They're up literally a goal going into the third period of Game 3. Skate is literally on the neck. Literally, you just got to survive. And they had arguably the most questionable decision a coach has ever made in the Stanley Cup Finals or Stanley Cup playoffs, excuse me. And that to me, just I don't know. I don't know if that's a front office thing or a coach thing, or I think it's probably a bit of both. I see both sides of this. I do think, to Graham's point, I do think that they treaded water much better than you would have expected them to without their cornerstone defenseman for, what was it, 3/4 of the season to half the season, give or take. Because, you would expect Edmonton to finish ahead of them and probably Vegas, obviously the two teams that were right there. But to your point, I cannot get the way that this team – they lose the same team every time, too. So it's not like they don't know what to expect.
Puck chop away
Yeah,
From
they're literally,
beating
if Quentin Byfield doesn't, like, if he just clears the zone instead of trying to be a hero and put the puck in the net, like this, we're having probably a completely different discussion about this team because the way Darcy Kemper was playing, God knows where they would have gone. You know,
Ifs and buts.
I do like the Anton Forsberg signing. I do think having that goaltender depth is going to be very helpful for them. Because I don't know if we're going to get another Darcy Kemper season like that, or God forbid he gets hurt. They definitely have a viable backup more than Rittich was. So I do like that signing. I hate that Gavrikov is gone. I love that for the Rangers, and we'll get into that when we get to the Metro episode. But I would probably go. I'd probably go D, like maybe D plus at the best, just because the way that play, like I said, the way the regular season went was fantastic. I think they probably did outplay their expectation a little bit, because I think if you go all the way back to one of our first episodes, Brock was even saying this wasn't going to be a playoff team, and they were very handily in the playoffs. They were competing for the 1 seed in the Pacific, like all the way up until the last week of the season, give or take. So, yeah, I would go D. They don't really have. They've got a little bit of cap space to set themselves up, but to Graham's point, they did not address any offense in this offseason. And literally everybody in their division has gotten better on offense. Basically, everybody we've covered except for Calgary, which
I would be remiss if I didn't say this before we move off of the Kings. Ken Holland, ladies and gentlemen. Ken Holland has entered the chat and has put his stamp on this team. I can't believe that didn't come up in my rant. But yeah.
So Ken Holland,
this man, if he listened to anything I've said, and he definitely he listens to this podcast for sure.
Loyal listener. 100%.
Loyal listener, Ken Holland.
He does. Yeah,
he definitely, he definitely thinks I hate him if he's listened to any of my takes. He definitely thinks I hate this man.
No, I don't hate you.
No, I don't hate you.
Yeah, shout out to Ken. Yeah, he's definitely listening.
Loyal listener. Loyal listener.
100%. Yeah, Ken, you're welcome to come on the pod whenever you
are welcome.
So,
yes,
yeah. So we'll see what happens with them moving. I could see the Kings taking a big step back. I could see them being trade deadline sellers, honestly, coming up this season. But we'll see what happens.
I can see it.
Next team we had up was the Seattle Kraken. So this is going to be fun too. So they had obviously some big shifts in management this offseason. They finished 7th in the Pacific. They were 20th in save percentage, 16th in shots allowed, 24th in goals against, 16th in goals for, 23rd on the power play. They were 25th in shots and 21st in PK percentage. So they did have some off-season additions. They added Frederick Gaudreau. They also added Ryan Lindgren and then Mason Marchment, obviously, in the Dallas trade. So a couple key pieces they lost. Andre Burakovsky is now with the Blackhawks, and Michael Inisima, right?
Isamont, I think.
Isamont. Okay, either way. I was close enough. Graham, I think you're up first. What would you say for the Seattle Kraken team?
This could go a lot of different ways because
I
feel like we've been giving grades based off expectations. And what are the Kraken's expectations? Like, was 2 years ago they're in the playoffs? Last year it's regressed. This year, like, what do you really expect?
I want to clarify that. What do we expect, or what does their management group expect?
Like, what do we expect in terms of the grade? If we expect them to be bad and they're bad, then okay, cool. If we expect them to be good and they're this bad, then it's a terrible grade.
I think we're grading what management thinks, and I think management thinks they're good. Otherwise, how do you explain what the fuck they're doing?
I don't know what there is to like about this team. Their best stats, I think, are not even top half in the league, maybe 16th. They have a lack of superstar talent. It shows. It's not being addressed. The buy committee is not working. I think they had one person that got more than 50 points on the season.
Is that good?
I think this has got to be the F.
I'm glad you got there. I was starting to think I was going to have to talk you into it.
No.
It's an F. It's an F. Like, what else is there to say? But guys, we got Mason Marchment. That was our big move.
They got Capo Caco.
Get Capo Caco from the Rangers.
But they've got
he did perform well.
They've got a whole team of Capo Cacos, though. That's the problem.
I was going to say, you're not going to win a cup with a team full of Capo Cacos. That's Capo crazy. Yeah. That's what that is.
Bust a capo, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Bust a capo in his ass.
Like,
Anyway,
it's just fucking asinine. It's an F.
Yeah.
What else is there to talk about? Matty Beniers. Oh,
Yeah.
he looks like the savior.
yes.
What
Well,
are
they
we
went all in on
talking about?
Stevenson.
What are we
Nope.
Oh, yeah. And now this year they went on Ryan Lindgren, who, by the way, looked like a friggin' like he was skating in mud in the playoffs for the Avalanche. Like, what are we talking about? This is
Yeah, he's-
ridiculous.
And he's slated to be on their third pair right now, Ryan.
Oh, that's
Lindgren.
good. That's good. Let's go bust a friggin' massive wad of our cap space at Ryan Lindgren to play on our third pair. That'll get us over the hump.
Yeah, I mean Jordan Eberle, right? I mean, if that doesn't get you excited, I don't know what will.
I don't know, man. Like,
They lose
this is
Bjorkstrand.
they didn't lose him.
Yeah,
they got
traded.
something for
They
him.
traded.
That was a good trade. It was a good trade. I'll say that. It was a good trade. But they traded their best player and didn't actually get all that much. So is it really that good? I don't know. I'm being mean kind of intentionally. But
Is Jared McCann their best player?
He is now.
Well, Vince Dunn's probably their best
Forward,
player.
Vince
No.
Dunn, but they got Montour. Montour wasn't.
Yeah, Montour was really good.
but-
Montour, that's one I won't poke fun at. That was the good signing, and he's
He was their worst player for plus minus. He almost doubled the next highest penalty minutes.
Fuck off with plus
He
minus.
ends with 41 points in 81. To say solid, I'm not going to give you solid.
41 points in 8. No, he missed more than a game. Montour
Nope,
missed
81.
time.
81. Looking right at it.
Okay, tap dance for me.
I
18
just
goals, 23 assists, 41 points. 70 PIMs, minus 22.
Fuck off with the minus. That's such a dumb stat. Oh,
and I think another problem this team has too is they have a goalie issue. They have Joey Decourt, but they're paying.
oh
Phil Grubauer.
no, Dalton. They brought in Matt Murray from the Leafs. That's a great signing. It's going well. Going really, really well.
Yeah, you're gonna be able to get
Dude,
that $6 million a year you're paying Philip Grubauer to
Man,
keep the bench warm.
how is this team not fucking dead last with the how does
Well, they might
Ron
be.
Francis still have a job? This is ridiculous. He actually got a fucking promotion.
Promotion. Yeah.
Like what are we doing?
Talk
I'm
about
done.
being a part of the group
We
and
have
getting out,
already, we have already wasted too much time on this
Yeah.
team. I am over this.
Yeah, I'm with you though. I
Yes.
think it's got to be an F, unfortunately. Just
All right.
yeah. Anyway, all right, and the last one up for docket. I saved this one for last on purpose, but the Anaheim Ducks. So the Ducks finished. Yeah, the Ducks. They finished sixth in the Pacific. They were 29th in the penalty kill. They were 21st in shots. They were 23rd in power play percentage, 16th in goals for, 24th in goals against, 16th in shots allowed, and 20th in save percentage. Obviously, some key players. They added Michael Grenland. They also added goalie Vile Huso, Chris Kreider, Peter Mrazek, Ryan Foling, and then also Jacob Trouba midseason. They did lose, obviously, Trevor Segrist to the Flyers in an offseason trade and John Gibson. And they've still got almost $29 million in cap space heading into this coming season. So, Brock, take us home. What's your grade for the Ducks?
I'm not gonna overthink this. I will say right off the top because it's top of mind. You said that they have all that cap space. Well, they have McTavish to get done amongst their main RFAs. I believe there's another notable one that I'll pull up on Buckpedia when Graham's talking. But I really like the Granlund extension. You can quibble with the Joel Quenneville hiring because of the history. I'm not going to get into that. That's XYZ. You could, like I said, you can quibble with it, but he's a good coach, so I expect them to be good, much better for it. I think that I'm going to give them a B+. I feel like I want to go higher, but I'm going to temper expectations because I thought they could take a step last year and they didn't. But now with the better coach, maybe they can progress into the playoff picture. Whether or not they make it, I don't know. But I do think the additions of Kreider, a full season of Trouba, the kids are another year older. I think Dostal taking over the net full time will be a boon. I like where this team is heading, and B+ feels like the right spot for them now. I could go higher, but I feel like this is a reasonable place to slot them.
Graham?
I don't want to go B+ at all, only because I think they should have taken the step. I don't know how much longer you can kind of wait for the youth to develop. So for that, I'm going to give them a C because they're where they were expected to be, but they didn't really show any signs of getting better. I liked that they got the bigger names. You could say they robbed the Rangers out of Trouba and Kreider, but it's not. It's only adding to the paper. It's not really adding to the scoreboard and the numbers that really matter. So I struggle to go higher than a C. Again, I want to preface it by saying I'm still very optimistic about the future of this team. And like the last couple of years, I do think that they are going to take a step, but I just don't think they took a big enough step to do it. But they did give them a better supporting cast. I don't actually love the Granlund signing. I like that they signed him. I don't like the signing. He's getting $7 million until he's 36, and it's only a 3-year deal. Nah.
That's a horrible take. I'm not even going to bother with the cap percentage argument. Anyone who's smart will realize it.
Oh, is that a backhanded compliment, by the way?
Sure was.
Okay.
It sure was.
The biggest problem I have right now with this team is that Leo Carlson is their number one center. I think that's my biggest issue with this team. That's what it.
No,
he's literally listed as their number one center right now. So
that does not daily face off.
It's going to be Mason McTavish, I assume.
Yes.
So
Yes.
we'll see.
I think, yes.
I do like the. I guess from a coaching standpoint, I like the Quenneville hire. From the person standpoint, maybe I don't like it as much. That's neither here nor there. It's definitely an upgrade from what they had as far as experience and coaching savviness and everything. He's one of 3 coaches that have over 1,000 career wins. Yeah, so you can't say that he's not a good coach. I do like the Peter Mrazek signing, or I guess they got him in the trade with the Gibson trade. So
He's
he's still a serviceable backup. I think he could, if Dostal needed any growing or any bringing to the league kind of situation, I think he could be a good fill for him. Obviously, he's not John Gibson, so maybe he learned enough from John Gibson. But I still don't know about the Trevor Zegras trade. I still feel like they maybe should have kept Zegras. I think it was probably obviously a contract situation. I don't know. Maybe they have too many players already like him on the roster, and that's why. But I do think Chris Kreider will have a bounce-back season. And I think with that being said, it's going to make them better on the power play. They're going to have a net front presence that is arguably one of the best net front presence in the league. So with that, I think – to your point, I think I'm probably going to go C+ to B-. But this is definitely the put up or shut up year for the Anaheim Ducks. This has definitely got to be the year that they see the progress that we've been promised for a minute now. They did look pretty decent there for a 15-game stretch in the season. I don't know if you guys remember. I think it was either right before the All-Star break or right after the All-Star break. They got a little bit hot to where they were kind of in the playoff picture for a minute, and all of a sudden everything just fell apart. So I expect them to be competing for a playoff spot and then be in the playoffs this coming year. And if not, I think there's definitely going to be some major changes that happen moving forward. So
I don't see this team in the playoffs.
Ooh.
I
mean, they got to be better than the Flames. They got to be better than the Sharks. They got to be better.
Points. Their leading goal scorer had 22 goals. What are you expecting this team to do?
Play defense.
Cutter, Gutierrez should have a better year.
Jackson Lacombe, Radko Gudas, Olin Zellweger, Jacob Trouba, Pavel Mintyukov, Drew Hellison. That decor
you're
is
just listing players who haven't done anything in the NHL right now.
Jackson Lacombe has done nothing. Gudas has won a cup. Olin Zellweger just started. So did Jackson Lacombe. I think you're being really harsh. I think you're being really, really harsh in this ranking.
Oh, the future is bright.
You're being very
But this year, no, I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not giving it to them this year.
That's fair.
I bet they finish either in the wild card spot or they just miss. I'd make that bet.
Okay. Oh, I think they have to be in. Otherwise, like I said, I think some heads are going to roll. So we'll see what happens. But that was the Pacific report cards for this past season for 2025. As always, though, we have the best for last. We have to do we got to get negatives still. We got to be in the bin. So In the Bin is sponsored by Warlord Beard Oil. Make sure to check out warlordbeardoil.com and use the promo code OLDSPORTS for 15% off beard oils, washes, soaps, and more. And any order over $65 will get you free shipping and handling. Looks like they lowered that from $75 to $65. So make sure to go out and check out our friends at Warlord Beard Oil. With that being said, Graham, who are you putting in the bin this week?
You guys listen to Coldplay?
You know how I know you're gay? You listen to Coldplay.
Andy Byron is going in the bin.
Oh boy!
What did he do?
Oh boy!
Let me get into him a little bit. He is the CEO of Astronomer, and he got caught at a Coldplay concert on Kiss Cam with an affair, cheating with his chief people officer, I believe, Kristen Cabot.
Cabo.
I don't know,
Cabo.
but yes, he attends a concert with the affairee, and
Nice.
you get caught at a Coldplay concert on a Kiss Cam. And the reaction was just incredible.
The reaction is just absolute cinema.
If you just play it cool, you'd be like, "Oh, it's a platonic."
yes, just
But
play it
oh my
off.
god, he cannot get off camera fast enough.
Oh,
Neither can she.
so friggin' funny.
Both married,
So
both
funny.
have children, both have families.
Oh.
Both fucked up.
Yeah.
Both
And
dude fucked up.
I think I saw Andy's wife had like gotten rid of all her social media too. I think I
Oh.
saw that as well. So
Oh
yeah,
my
tough
God.
scene. Tough
Andy
scene. That's a good
Byron.
bin.
Yeah, he's getting
Yeah.
kicked out of home, but he can bunk up in the bin.
Yeah, nice. There it is. There it is. All right, Brock, who did you have in the bin this week?
Well, I have two. I'm glad you
Nice.
asked. First, I'm going to put the Sabres and Bowen Byram in the bin because of the contract extension he signed with them. The only reason this makes sense to me from either side is Byram gets walked straight to UFA. So yay for him. And I guess he got a decent number. 625, I believe, was the number per year for 2 years. But why would the Sabres extend him? I don't understand. To be their like fourth defenseman, or like I don't know. Like they have so many lefties too. Like I don't understand where he's going to play. You're in the bin. I don't understand it. It doesn't make any sense to me for really either of them. Like I don't understand why Byram wouldn't want to flesh out that better opportunity. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me. They're in the bin. And secondly, whoever the hell the guy was in the golf video that went rampant last week that tried to fight Rick.
Oh, I'm not familiar.
Tarnassi. No, yeah. If you didn't see this, I don't know what to tell you, man. Like I saw
Put
it
him into a lake.
like everywhere for 3 straight days. Like it was literally unavoidable. And then Tarnassi went on a podcast. Friedman actually did a little segment on 32 Thoughts about it. And there's actually some interesting history. Like the 80s were just a bygone era, man. 80s and 90s, like the enforcers, the way that the league used to, conduct itself, I guess. Oh man, it was another time. But yeah, whoever the hell that guy was that tried to fight, he did publicly apologize, by the way. He did post something on social media apologizing for his behavior. He was clearly zonked out of his fucking skull. Like,
Yeah.
very clearly. But yeah, you're in the bin, bud.
Nice.
Hey,
Yeah.
Thanks for coming out. Thanks for coming out.
Literally throwing him. He was parallel. He literally threw him into the
Yeah.
lake, but he was parallel with the ground. I was like, oh my god, that guy is going. You would think that would de-escalate the fight, but no. Like if somebody threw me into a pond, I'd be like, all right, he won. I'm gonna go dry off.
Yep.
Yeah, see you later.
Yep.
But no, he wanted more. I love the bam too. The bam. I kept punching him. Yeah.
Bang, bang.
Yeah, bang,
Bang.
bang, bang.
Oh man. Anyway, well, good bin. Totally forgot about that. And then, I had 2 bins as well. I'm glad you brought that up. My first bin was the New York Rangers, and obviously with the Keandre Miller trade that happened a week and a half ago or so, he got dealt. The Rangers have officially traded all 6 of their first round picks that were selected from 2017 to 2019. So, do you think it's in the room? That's my only question.
Probably.
Yeah,
I think
so
it's out of the
Rangers. Yeah, hopefully by now. My God. So Rangers are in the bin, and then I'm going to put Wyndham Clark in the bin. I don't know if you guys know who Wyndham Clark is. He is a professional golfer,
Nope.
but it was announced the other day that he has been banned from Oakmont Country Club. That was the location of the 2025 U.S. Open this past year in Pennsylvania. But Clark bogeyed the 36th hole. So if you're not familiar, it's the last hole of the day on Friday. To miss playing the weekend, so he missed the cut by 1 shot. He then proceeded to go in and absolutely destroy a locker that he had, and the club decided to ban him. So he is not welcome at Oakmont Country Club. They do have the U.S. Open again in 2033. So like 7 years from now, 8 years from now, if I can do math. But they did say that they would reverse the ruling if he paid for damages, which the fact that he hasn't paid for damages already is mind blowing.
Yeah, I was
to
gonna
me.
say what the.
He's a professional golfer. This man has
Yeah.
got plenty of money. And secondly, he'd have to attend anger management / anger therapy, if you will. So he'd have to do those classes. But yeah, I mean, you go in and you fuck up a locker, man. You're in the bin. I don't know what else to tell you. You can't even sit in the bin because the door's broken. If you think about it, you know what I mean.
Nice.
So.
Nice.
So, but that was In the Bin, brought to you by our friends at Warlord Beard Oil. Make sure to check them out at warlordbeardoil.com and use that promo code OLDSPORTS for 15% off. Now, on the brighter side of things, we have to get positive. We got to hand out the C. This is brought to you by SeatGeek. So make sure to download the SeatGeek app and use the promo code Old City Sports Network for $20 off your first purchase. Check out baseball or WNBA. Those are about the only two sports going on right now. And with that being said, Brock, who would you want to give your C to this week?
Oh, I thought you'd never ask.
Is this the easiest you'll give out, by the way?
Absolutely, it is. One, Joe Pavelski won the celebrity golf tournament in Reno, Nevada, called the American Century Championship for the first time, and he did it with a walk-off eagle to boot. So Joe
Nice.
Pavelski, former, for my money, probably future Hall of Famer, former NHL player, you get to see this week. Congratulations, sir.
Hell yeah.
Moving
You beat
on.
Marty Fish.
Easiest C I'll give out ever.
It's a good thing Graham Fall wasn't. Graham, you should look at if you can get into that tournament, honestly. You're a
Should, yeah.
celebrity.
Yeah,
Yeah.
might as well.
Yeah, you should talk to your publicist.
No, there's some big names in this event too.
Yeah.
Like Albert Pujols,
Like
Aaron
Graham
Rodgers.
Holtz,
Graham Fox?
Aaron Rodgers, the Kelsey brothers,
Steph Curry, the Curry family, basically.
other hockey players, TJ Oshie, Matthew Tkachuk.
Yeah.
So it turns
Nice.
out Tkachuk's faking his injury.
Nice.
I knew it! I knew it! Son of
Oh, man.
a
Rap-
But yeah,
Runner.
Graham, you should see if you can get into that tournament. You're a like I said,
Yeah,
you're a
they're inviting
celebrity. You should-
everyone.
Yeah, literally. Well, you're the most prominent PBA bowler we know. So, but who do you want to give your C to?
We are going to go to the MLB with this one.
Ooh,
So-
here we go.
Eli Willits, at 17 years old, is the youngest player to ever be drafted first overall in MLB history.
Oh, shit. Congratulations, kid.
So, yeah.
Yeah,
fun.
it's a good payday.
Yeah,
What else
so
is there to
nice
say? Yeah, what else is there to say? Congratulations, kid. That's awesome.
Dalton?
Sorry, I didn't know if you had something to say. Sorry, you just looked like you were going to talk. I have two because I like this one. Somebody put this Crosby one in here that I like. So Sidney Crosby, again, I'm sure this is Graham because Graham's given Crosby the C like 5
That's
times.
why I didn't pick him.
He loves Crosby C.
He does. He does love Crosby C.
Sure does.
But Crosby at age 37 led his age group with 91 points while outscoring everyone under the age of 26 and over 41 years old. Or excuse me, over 31 years old. So despite Pittsburgh missing the playoffs over the last 3 seasons, he has 278 points. And for context, Austin Matthews has 270 points in that span.
Is that good?
So that's pretty impressive. That just tells
The
you
kid still got it.
literally if he literally
Good kid.
basically the only guys in their prime were the guys only better than Crosby right now. Like the Mikko Rantanen,
The superstars in their prime.
literally that's it. Yeah, everybody else doesn't even compare to this guy. So he's Canadian bum, but he's still really good. And then speaking of really good, American heroes better than Canadian heroes, but that's neither here nor there. I wanted to give a shout out to Scott Ruscan. He is the former Raider University track star turned Coast Guard rescue swimmer. So he saved 165 lives during the Texas flash floods that occurred about a week and a half ago or so now.
Cool flex, bro.
Yeah. So pretty tragic situation that was going on in Texas. Like I don't know if you saw any of the videos when it was happening. Like,
I haven't heard
It's scary.
I haven't
was
heard anything
like-
about this.
It was mind blowing just how quickly the water would just literally
Yeah.
come out of nowhere. Like literally 10 minutes and it's just everything's
Over your
underwater. Yeah, it was crazy. So shout out to Scott, American hero, saving people's lives. Nothing is. I don't think anything's bigger than that. It's kind of easy to say there. So he's getting the C. Honestly, the easiest C I've ever given out, I would say. And I guess I could give a C to Who hosted the ESPYs last night? I cannot. It was
Shane
Shane Gillis.
Shane Gillis. Yeah, he had some pretty good one-liners last night. If you guys saw any
When
of
they
those.
panned to the one chick and it was just his buddy's wife for
Yes, for the
WNBA,
WNBA.
that tickled me so pink. tickled
Yeah,
me
Caitlin
so
Clark's gonna
pink.
work at Waffle House after her
Oh
retirement. That
man,
one's pretty
so
good.
funny.
But yeah, Shane Gillis is pretty good. I don't know if he'll ever be welcome back because of how that went, but we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, that was Getting the Sea. That was brought to you by SeatGeek. Make sure to download the SeatGeek app and use that promo code Old City Sports Network for $20 off your first purchase. Go check out a sporting event going on in the summer near you. Anything else you guys want to say before we wrap up and head out?
It's good to be back.
Yeah.
We'll be dropping some random episodes throughout the course of the summer. It's probably going to be a much more inconsistent schedule. So
Yeah.
There's
Stay tuned
that.
for our next division.
Yes,
we
will
do
be
still
doing-
have that Leaf episode coming too at some point.
Yeah. We have
Let
a
us know
Leafs
if you
episode
agree
in the works.
By the way,
Yes. Add us on Instagram,
Yes.
Facebook,
On the
wherever you want.
Instagram,
Yeah,
the
wherever
TikTok.
the TikTok, wherever you engage with us, interact with us.
Yeah, we'd love to hear what the all world listeners have to say,
Absolutely.
including the CEO of the Kraken. Right? Is that who you were saying was listening to us earlier?
No,
No, it was the Kings. It was the Kings.
Ken Holland. Yeah, Ken Holland.
Yeah, Ken Holland. That's correct. Yeah, sorry, I blanked on that one.
Yeah, I'd love to get
yeah.
your thoughts, Ken.
Yeah, let us
How
know.
was
Ken.
it? How was it? You know,
Yeah,
Yeah,
tell Ken we want him to
having
grade
a
this
team with
podcast.
Datsuk, Zetterberg, Lidstrom. You did such a great job, sir. God.
Oh man. Well,
I'll tell
we
him
are
to
the
speak.
between the. Yeah, you want to tell him? You want?
I will.
We should just send him a DM.
I'm devolving.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, we are the Between the Benches podcast. We're brought to you by Old City Sports Network. Make sure to check out oldcitysports.com, all your favorite Philadelphia podcasts, articles, blogs, and more. From Dak, myself, Brock, Big Canada Daddy, Grandpa. We will check you guys out next week, and we will bring you our report cards for the Central Division, and then we'll head over to the Eastern side. So we'll catch you then. And that concludes this week's episode of Between the Benches. Make sure to follow us on Instagram and check us out on YouTube. Also hit the like and subscribe button and look out for the next episode. Until next week, your Harley Riders.
Doc, what a fitting ending! This is incredible!